Yo, what is up, guys? Vincenzo from home of Milan coming back at you once again. Furthermore, today we got a lot to break down. 2 wins against Cagliari in the Coppa Italia and against Empoli in the Serie A. Without any further ado, guys, let's get into this. But before we do, make sure you guys check us out on all of our socials at Instagram, X, TikTok, and bunches, all at home of Milan. Without any further ado, guys, let's jump into this. So in a very comfortable win against Cagliari in the Coppa Italia, we pretty much sent out a B team with a lot of debuts from our youth team and our Primavera squad, and a lot of players coming up. For example, we finally saw an appearance from Alex Jimenez, who was kind of a little bit of a question mark going in, but for me, he was absolutely one of the stars out there on the pitch against Cagliari. And also we saw Chaka Traore come in for, I believe it was his first start in for Milan. And also we saw Giancarlo Simic, who's a familiar name to all of us. In the first half, Milan was in control, and we saw 2 goals from Luka Jovic, who we wanted to see him get the hat-trick, but he couldn't get it going. But he scored a brace in the first half with 2 great assists from Theo Hernandez. And we saw glimpses of what he could do and what we know he can do as he dribbles up and passes and, just creates something out of nothing. And it was a fantastic performance from Theo. It was really good to see him back. And thankfully, he carried that form coming into this Empoli match. But we'll get onto that later. Yeah, Luka Jovic continuing his hot patch of form, scoring a brace, kind of, telling it into Pioli's face that, hey, you should start me more, blah, blah, blah. But regardless, Luka Jovic gets us up at halftime 2-0. And quickly, 5 minutes into the second half, it was Chaka Traore to make it 3-0 on the dot. And he gets his first goal for Milan, and it was just a great sight to see, because it's really good that a lot of our Primavera guys are really coming into this team and really making a mark into their team and saying, hey, you can rely on me on big moments, in certain moments, in any moments, really, right? We saw Alex Jimenez really, make a big noise for himself, and we also saw Chaka Traore do very good as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the clean sheet, but I think it was just a lucky goal from Cagliari, because then shortly after, Leao came on and Leao scored a goal, and I think this was super big for Leao's I guess just image, really, because there was a lot of talk of him, not scoring a lot of goals and stuff like that. And he came out in an interview saying that he could, put up Mbappe and Haaland numbers if he really wanted to, but he sees himself more as an assisting winger. And ironically enough, not only did he get a goal this game, but he got a goal he got an assist against Empoli. So for me, as long as he's contributing to goals and contributing to the styles of play that we do, I think that's all we can really ask for Leao. Regardless, talking about Milan, we also saw another debut in Kevin Zaroli, and we saw Bartazaghi come in. So a lot of Primavera guys coming into this game, and I really like seeing this, right? I like seeing us develop our own players and really, get these players involved in the team, because what good is it to just rot them on the bench in the Primavera and not really, do anything going forward. So I'm super happy that we're calling upon guys like Chaka Traore, like Alex Jimenez, Simic, and obviously Bartazaghi, Zaroli are, 2 other guys that came in too. So that's super big for them. And yeah, other than that, nothing really much happened in the game. I just thought it was a very positive performance from Milan in the Coppa Italia. And now we play Atalanta in the Coppa Italia on Tuesday. So that's going to be super big for us, because realistically, this is one of our biggest trophies that we can probably have the best chance to win, right? Because obviously, we're out of Champions League and we're in Europa League, but I think that's going to be a little tough considering the teams that are still in it. And obviously, the Scudetto is really far out of reach, but unless we can maybe get something together, Coppa Italia is realistically the only trophy that we could try to win, especially because Inter are out and Napoli are out. So I think that's super big. So if we can really capitalize on the Coppa Italia, we could end the season with some silverware, and that would be really nice. Real quick, let's just go to tops and flops. I really like Theo Hernandez in this game, and obviously Alex Jimenez. Luka Jovic also got 2 goals, and then Chaka Traore obviously gets his first Milan goal. But I'm going to give it to Theo, because Theo had some really poor performances in previous games, but he really stepped up, getting 2 assists today at the center back position. So he's really stepping up in this position, and he's really, trying to find his form back. So top, I'm going to say Theo. And flop, I think I'm going to say Chukwueze, because this was a time where he could have done something. He didn't get subbed out, so he had the full game to kind of do something. Didn't really create much. He didn't do terrible, but he just didn't do as much as I wanted him to do. So top is Theo Hernandez. Flop is Chukwueze. Moving on, we go to Empoli away, and considering that this is another low-table team, we struggled against Salernitana, not even winning against them. So going away to Empoli was a bit of a worry for some of us. But for me, off camera, I predicted a 2-0, and we actually went out and won 3-0, keeping a clean sheet. And obviously, such a positive performance from every single player on the pitch. I really want to highlight the midfield because I thought the midfield played fantastic. I thought Ruben Loftus-Cheek got his first goal in a good little while with an assist from Rafael Leao. And Leao gets his assist tally up to 5 assists. Like I said previously, Leao in a press conference said that he could get Mbappe and Haaland numbers, but he likes to share the ball and he likes to get assists. And clearly, he got another assist today. So again, for me, as long as Leao is contributing to goals, that's all I really care about. But regardless, yeah, everybody played phenomenally. And yeah, like I said, Loftus-Cheek does well to get his goal. And yeah, Leao does great. He does Leao things to get past his man and get that ball into the dangerous areas. And Milan get rewarded a penalty for a handball inside the box, and Giroud does really well to step up and take the penalty, blasting it into the top left corner. And I think that was a big goal for Giroud just because he was in a bit of a drought. And he's been a little inconsistent in previous games, but he did well to put away his penalty. And we go into the second half winning 2-0. So that's super big for us. Again, we saw Alex Jimenez come in again for an injured Florenzi, so that's a big blow for us. But I think on a good note, we're going to see a lot more of Alex Jimenez in next fixtures. So that's super big and super good for us because he's been a player that kind of bursted out of the scene quite quickly, especially with the game against Cagliari. He played fantastic, so super good to see him again. And I'm sure that we'll see him a lot more often. Let me know what you guys have been thinking about Alex Jimenez because he looks like a fantastic player, a great option off the bench or even starting, to be honest. I think he could do a great job at both. But considering our, injured Florenzi now, I think Alex Jimenez would do a great job at left back, playing with Theo, playing off of him and doing stuff like that. So I think going forward, I think we kind of need to look at that option as Alex Jimenez partnering up with Theo. And towards the end of the game, Shaka Traore comes in the match, and 4 minutes later, he scores a goal with a great assist from Pulisic, who brings his assist tally up to 5 assists as well, equal with Leao. And I think, like I said in previous episodes, Pulisic has been one of our best players. He's been our most consistent, and he's just been playing some great form recently. So big up Pulisic and big up Shaka Traore getting his first Serie A goal for Milan. And he took it well. And he put it in bottom corner. So big shout out to Shaka Traore for getting his first Serie A goal for Milan. And again, I think the team played very well. There was a lot of great styles of play going in, building up. And Theo, again, he had another great game. I want to give a special shout out to Adli because he put in a great performance against Cagliari, and now he put in a great performance against Empoli as well. So big shout out to him as well. And yeah, I think just everyone played well. We saw Mike return back in the net, so he's doing, Mike Magnon things. But yeah, just overall a solid performance from Milan. Hopefully Milan can do well to kind of continue this form as we can cement our top 3 spot, because there's no way we can win the league. Or obviously if we do, then we'd have to go on a crazy winning streak, not even drawing or doing anything, a straight win streak. And we would need Inter to drop a lot of points, but it seems like they're unbeatable because, they have to have some crazy things happen in their game and whatever. I don't want to get into it, but going forward, I think Milan just have to continue this hot streak of form and continue just playing well and really trusting these youth players because they've just been really paying off in the long run, right? We've seen Shaka Traore play a couple of good games. We've seen Alex Jimenez play a lot of good games. Obviously, Giancarlo Simic has been playing well. So, just calling upon these youth players maybe is the best thing going forward in our interest. So not too shabby. Let's go to tops and flops. Top for me is Theo Hernandez. I thought, again, he played very well. We kept a clean sheet, him at center back. And, he was just doing a job. He did very well. He had a pretty good save, I think, at one point. So, yeah, Theo Hernandez keeping his form hot and ready. And flop, I think today I'm going to say Calabria because Calabria didn't really do much. I'm just looking at the match ratings right now. He got the lowest, even though Florenzi came out injured. And Calabria still got the lowest. He got a yellow card as well. So flop, I'm going to say Calabria. And top, I'm going to say Theo Hernandez. Moving on to our next fixture in the Serie A, we play Roma in the San Siro. This is a pretty big game here because this is a chance for us to gain points on someone who can maybe squeeze into the top 4. as of current, Roma sit in 8th place. We sit in 3rd. So again, this is just another great opportunity to put points on top of our rivals, because obviously Roma are fighting for a top 4 spot, and as are we. And they need the points just as much as we do, just so that they can stay in this top 4 fight. But regardless, this is a big game. We need all of our guys to step up big. And for me, Roma's not a team to sleep on, because they can challenge us and kind of do some sort of Roma, Mourinho mind games and stuff like that. So for me, Roma isn't a team to really sleep on. So we need to have our full concentration on this match. And obviously we play Atalanta in the Coppa Italia. So that's 2 big matches back to back. So hopefully we can continue this great form and really challenge both teams and really stay on all fronts to try to win a trophy this season in Coppa Italia. Let's going back to Roma. I think, we have to, be a little careful, because Roma are that team that have mind games. They kind of play to the last minute and really pick up their, momentum towards the end of the game. So kind of staying locked in. In the last 5 games, Roma has had 2 losses, 2 draws, and a win. So kind of inconsistent compared to our 1 loss, 3 wins, and a draw. So on the bounce, I think we could definitely beat Roma. I think we will beat Roma, but I think it'll be a little bit of a challenge, just because they're a little bit more of a defensive team, I feel like. So maybe a 1-0 is probably going to be the most accurate result. So that's going to be what I predict. A 1-0 with a goal from Leao, let's just say. I think that'll end it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on all of our socials at Instagram, X, TikTok, and Bunches, all at Home of Milan. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about these last 2 Milan games, how we're going to do in Coppa Italia, and what's going to be the result against Roma. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao ragazzi.